Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to all listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are covering Love Island UK Season 9, Episode 44. And it's the first time this week, really, isn't it, mate? So, sorry I've left you holding the fort, which you do admirably, obviously, as well. But it's good to be back and speaking to you. But where would you like to start today?
Well, I think it was the strangest change of the wind in this fucking episode in the villa from nowhere. And I've been calling Jessie out as a bit of a game player, false tears, you know, it's all like made up and I wasn't buying it. And I know a few people have called me out on it. The whole villa pretty much was like, yeah, Jessie, you know, I think she's faking it. I was like, where the fuck has all this come from? As much as I want to talk about all this thing, how she inserted herself into the Claudia.
She being Jessie.
She being Jessie.
You have to mention if you're going to say she.
Yes, Jessie, inserted herself into this little argument between Claudia and Casey. But I didn't understand it, Dave. I enjoyed the episode. I really did. But I just sort of think she's getting sussed out, which I think is right. And I didn't understand her copying and speaking to Casey and just sort of like, when he said to her, like, I'd love it when he said, what the fuck's got to do with you? I've already spoken to Will and Tom. You've apologised. What is your problem?
Yeah, 100%, Chris. And I've got a lot of frustration built up because we haven't had a chance to speak for the last few days. But this fucking crop are just a bunch of bellends. Honestly. Right, let's start with Casey. I said I didn't really like the way he behaved in Casa Amor. And the way he came back and everything. I think I was off. He was like a kid who had too much sugar, I think I said. But apart from that, he's only doing what pretty much every other fucker on that island is doing.
Yes.
Right? Absolutely the same. But the girls in particular this season get the bit between their teeth and have their fucking utmost hypocrisy and just fail to see it. Everyone's like, oh, Tanya, oh, I'm so glad you and Shaq are back together. Oh, do you remember Martin who? We don't talk about Martin and the fact that you brought him back and all that and you were fucking gunning for him but played it down massively. Oh, but Casey is keeping his fucking options open, isn't he? And I was thinking, in the previous episode, when Claudia said, I don't want to be an option, I was thinking, yeah, I don't think that's going to be a problem for much longer. But, you know, again, they've been together for a few days before Casa Amor. Yes, they got on, but she's been way over the top and just like, you can see she's almost like pushing him away. Now, Casey, to a fault, is trying to be the nice guy. He's trying to say, look, I'm not closing things off. Ron, did you close things off? Oh, no. Tom, you've been with Sammy much longer before you went into Casa Amor. Did you close things off? Oh, no, you didn't as well. Jessie, what was that you said? Oh, what goes on in Casa Amor stays in Casa Amor. Oh, right, okay. But Casey's the fucking arsehole of the bunch. And in particular, you know, the likes of Jessie and also Olivia just have this massive hypocrisy about them. And honestly, that fucking talk that Jessie had with Casey was just fucking bizarre. And you know what? Fair play to Casey, because I thought he was just going to continue just sucking it up, but you could see the cogwheels turning in his head. It's like, I had the discussion with the boys, because he wasn't happy, was he? That he felt like a little bit betrayed by Tom and Will. And then Will had mentioned it to Jessie. And then Jessie decides she's going to have a fucking opinion and she's going to tell Casey exactly how she feels. And it's like, yeah, but what the fuck has this got to do with you? And I'm glad, so glad, Chris, that he called her out on it. And, you know, he was incredibly nice about it still. He was like, well, you know, I don't really care, but, you know, that's your opinion. So, yeah, I'm going to stay here, but, you know, don't let your ass hit the door on the way out kind of thing. And then she just about says at the end, we do still care about you as well. But not really. Claudia is allowed to have feelings. Casey's not. Casey's not allowed to have feelings is the whole fucking sense that I get from the girls in this. Or I thought I got from the girls until the massive fucking switch, Chris. But, question to you, sir. Do you think Jessie, right, let's park for a second that she's a massive fucking game player, right? But do you think maybe seeing Casey wobble a bit, do you think she's actually taking some of her frustrations that she has about what Will did in Casa Amor rather than being Casey himself?
Yeah, I think that's a great point. Actually, I agree with that. I think her dialogue was wrong. She did get a dig in after all this, Dave, at Will about kissing another girl at Casa. She did say that after when he was talking to her, and there was a little group of them. So yeah, I think she probably did, and I think what was very strange was I was pissing myself laughing was when she started crying. And I don't know who was next to her. I don't know whether it was Sammy or something. She starts crying away. There's no tears. And she's like, I just feel so upset for Claudia. The fact that Claudia and Casey had a conversation quashed it the next day. Claudia and Casey sat next to each other while I think it might have been Maxwell and Olivia are calling Jessie out. And Claudia's fine. She sat next to Casey, but then it pans to fucking Jessie. And then as soon as it sort of, I don't know, it was Sammy, one of the girls mentioned it to her. Tears stopped. Will was talking to her. She starts the tears again. Will says something to reassure her. Not one fucking tear, Dave. It was like the Sahara Desert in them eyes, Dave. I was like, you absolute blagger. And why you're trying to make it about yourself? I think she's low-key being the ringleader of this group. She's a shit stirrer, and she's in between everyone. And I think call Case out a little bit because he has been a bit of a bellend. He's a bit of a footboy. He's got a nice personality, but it doesn't allow some of the things he's done. But he's in this case absolutely not in the wrong for me. He's done nothing wrong. I felt like they were ganging up on him, like you said. And I just think with Jessie, she needs to check herself at the door because it's like it's got fuck all to do with you. And now, from nowhere, as you said, the twist. Fucking everyone just starts throwing fucking Jessie under the bus. I was like, well, I wasn't expecting this because this has come from nowhere. I honestly think, because it sort of started with Liv, I honestly think we heard the story from Jay saying that Ekinsu, that thing about him might have to page, and then Ekinsu gets called to the front door where the producers are. Next minute, she's going at Jay. I honestly think, and people have said, Olivia is the fucking puppeteer of the producers. Yeah. The puppet. She may be the puppeteer. She might run the whole fucking thing, actually, Dave. But she has been told, right, we want you to insert this. She's not going to win. Maxwell and her, not popular. And it just feels as if it was like, well, fuck it, all bets are off. I'm on my way out anyway. Let's go for it. Because I was just like, how have we got to this stage? It just seems so set up. I was like, there has been no dialogue in the whole time Jessie's been in there. She's been a popular member of the villa, even though we can say, I believe she's been game playing. I did not see this coming, Dave. And just seeing it unfold in front of me, I was like, oh, well, Jessie and Will, they're pretty much fucked now, I think.
It was madness, wasn't it? I mean, I was getting really annoyed because I was thinking, again, I don't think Casey is doing anything that all the other people in the villa have done, and it got to the point for me where it's like, this is almost bullying, when Jessie was talking in the bed and like Casey's right there.
Oh my God.
And it's, what did she say? She said, I did say your name, but I wasn't talking behind your back. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Why would you use my name in a conversation that I am not in? How is that possibly not talking behind my back? So just utter bullshit. You are, even if it's just a reference. So, that was utter nonsense as well. And I was getting really annoyed. I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. And everyone's forgetting all the fucking things that everyone else has done. Everyone agrees, yeah, you shouldn't close yourself off too early, yada, yada, yada. But Claudia's crying, so it's different now, isn't it? Because the tears are out. It's just fucking bullshit. And then when it turned on a dime, and like you say, Olivia was the one, I think she's fake ever since movie night. And to be fair, I agree. Like the way she was going, moving like that, pissed me off so much. And it was just weird. And then fucking suddenly, everyone is gunning for Jessie. Fucking Maxwell decides to stick his oar in as well. So he's talked about, Jessie being a little bit fake. And everyone's having the conversation. And Will is sat right there.
It was like the Martin thing with Tanya on it. He sat there. I love his line, Dave. You're all moving like a snake.
Yeah, you're all snakes. You're all snakes. It was weird though, wasn't it? It was like a conversation that they could have, but like, it's let's hammer this out, and not involve that couple directly. Not like the fucking person who is coupled up with her. And I do think they have genuine feelings. We've said from day one though, the way Jessie coupled up with Will, there's just something fucking off about it. So, but I don't feel it's that way, from Will's perspective. I do think Will is genuinely into her. Yeah, he's been a bit annoyed because she's creating this fucking drama and involving him, but to have that whole conversation while he's sat right fucking there, I just thought was bizarre. And I was like, oh, I am fucking loving this, Chris.
I tell you what, though, Dave, doesn't it lose a little bit of fucking credibility when, the person who doesn't speak behind a friend's backs, Dave, who we're talking about Liv. I don't speak. And when they're being defensive, they're usually guilty. Okay, Olivia, are you playing fucking centre-back for England? Because you have been defensive this whole fucking series. I was like, what a hypocrite.
It's the fucking, the way they used to test if you're a witch. If you drown, turns out they weren't a witch. If you didn't drown, well, you're a fucking witch, aren't you? We're going to burn you at the stake. That's the fucking logic there. Oh, no, I see. Olivia, what a massive fucking cock. Just ridiculous, right? Oh, yeah, I'm such a girl's girl, me. And I don't talk behind people's backs. That's all we fucking seen her do. She's always fucking gossiping behind people's backs. She's always throwing girls under the bus. And girls, you're getting exactly what you fucking asked for because you saw it. You saw it on movie night and you did fuck all about it. No one called Liv out for just talking about girls behind their backs. So prepare to have some more then.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what I loved? The big situation with Will was when Liv threw all of them under the bus. And I think it was Sammy went, hey, as if to say, oh, we're fucked now. When Jessie finds out, because she said, well, we were talking, me, Sammy, Lana. I was like,
wow. I just want to be open. I just want to, have this open conversation. Yeah, but you just fucking threw me under the bus.
It was nobody knew she was going to do it because I think even Ron was speaking facts. Even Ron of all people again coming with facts, saying like, she has bullshit. I've not believed a word of this. But even said there's no tip. Maxwell said it. He said it, and Maxwell's right. I agree completely with what they were saying. It just seems so. It was like when we were talking about Shaq and Tanya, and one episode they fucking deleted each other on social media, blocked each other. The next day, they sat there like, oh, you're the love of my life. And we were like, how have we got to this? So I cannot wait, though, Dave, for tomorrow's episode because I'm just sort of like, it is going to fucking kick off. And Will is the most unconvincing fucking bad guy or tough guy. He's like, I am so angry. I'm like, mate, shut up. He's going, cannot tell you how fuming I am. I really am fuming. Oh, great, Will. Nobody cares, mate.
Moving like snakes. Moving like snakes.
He sounds like Curtis.
All of you.
Moving like a snake. And it was like, that makes no sense. But it was also the fact that he sat there and he's listened to it and he's took it all in. But she spoke to him like shit earlier on when he said to her, look, you didn't need to go and speak to Casey. We've quashed it. Well, I have my own eyes and ears. I can say, and he's like, but you didn't need to. We've already sorted it out. Why are you? He was trying to say to her, why don't you just fucking button it and I've sorted it out. And she wanted to carry it on. So this is a dynamic I was not expecting with 10 days to go, Dave. I was thinking we're over all this, but I'm here for this shit. I am popcorn at the ready. And I think this was probably the second best episode of the series for me.
It's definitely up there. I would say it's in the top 5. I think. Do you not think though? There's this weird. I think Joe used the word like hive mind of the girls in the villa. And do you not remember Tanya saying, "Well, everyone's got an opinion, so we can air it." But then when Tanya was up, no one can have an opinion about that. Yeah. It's weird, and it's as if Jessie with Casey, like say, she thinks it. Therefore, Cassie, you're going to have to sit down and you're going to have to listen to my opinion. As if you're a naughty little schoolboy, and I'm going to tell you exactly where you've gone wrong. And the boys might have apologised, but in my opinion, I don't believe they should have apologised. And it's like, well, what's that got to do with the price of fucking fish? Who fucking cares? Who asked you for your fucking opinion? Don't stick your nose in everywhere where it's not wanted. And the only thing I'm wondering, is she second guessing what the public are thinking? Is she thinking, you know what, the public are going to be, I can see the way people are behaving in the villa. Claudia's got the tears and everything. The public are going to be gunning for Cassie. So they're going to be at home. And when I'm putting him in his place and telling him how it is, they're going to be fist pumping the air and cheering me on. That's the only thing that I can think that makes sense. Why she would do that and have that conversation, other than, like, say, she was just airing her frustrations about Will.
Yeah, and we talked about Olivia doing the same thing. So, the whole thing with Kai, wasn't it? It was like, well, we're in the bottom 3. That's all I need to know. He's not the one for me. And then obsessed with the guy because he was the one who binned it off first. They've obviously, look.
Still waiting for an apology, by the way.
Well, yeah, still, Dave. I'm still waiting for that apology. But I think as well, it's like, Jessie's been here before. Yes, she didn't win it on the season she was in, but she was quite a popular character. We both said that at the start. We talk about Owen, who she was with, like he was a bit of a dick to her, but she was a nice girl. She's got that experience of how to play the game, how to manipulate it. And I think you're right. I think this is a play that's just gone a little bit too far, and it's not going to deliver how she thinks. Because I think for Will, he's still a popular character, but this is pretty much ruins his chances, I think, of winning at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they were ever in with a shout for the top spot. I think, but top 3, certainly, they could be in with a shout. But who knows? And again, I can't help but feel Olivia knows this. Olivia knows that they're going to be quite a popular group. You got Will, who's an OG. And so I'm just thinking, well, destabilising that couple kind of gets rid of, another strong couple in the villa. So I think Olivia's play has been fucking brilliant. Because let's face it, right? Olivia doesn't say that about Jessie being fake. None of that drama that unfolded would have happened. No one else would have said it. And she wouldn't have brought everyone else into it, like you say, Sammy and everyone. So, yeah, I think it's a big gameplay from Olivia as well.
Fucking brilliant, Dave. And then, so we did get Sammy and Tom in the hideaway. Not really bothered about that, Dave, unless you spotted anything.
Well, the only thing I noticed was when the handcuffs came out, he was like, "Oh, I'm into this. I'm not vanilla, me."
Yeah.
And I thought, oh my God, please, Sammy, whip out a massive fucking strap on and say, "Oh, well, it's a good job you said that." Look what we have here.
I thought he was walking like John Wayne the next day, Dave. But,
okay, I'm not sure, handcuffs, does that constitute, not being vanilla? I don't know if it does. I don't know if that is too far beyond the vanilla space for me.
Yeah, well, yes, Dave. It's not exactly, is it the Red Room, whatever it's called, that 50 Shades? I've got that completely wrong, Anna, whatever the room's called.
Yeah.
But I've got to say, Dave, low-key, want him to win. They're both into each other while all the drama's kicking off, and they are just sat there cuddling, kissing. They're into each other. Is Kai and Sanam, Dave. There is a genuine connection between them, a genuine love, potentially. I love the fact that it's all kicking off around them and they're just giggling and being silly with each other. And it's just like, that is how you do it, guys. They've definitely got something together, these two. She's a lovely girl. Kai's, we were laughing about his monotone thing when he got on that date with Rosie the a couple of days ago. But when he's with Sanam, she brings out the best in him. And when they're together, I just thought that was a really nice, organic, natural interaction between two people who are really into each other. And I'm thinking, you two at the moment are the only ones who I'm buying. Even Ron and Lana, we know that's bullshit. I'm not buying that at all. So they could potentially have a chance on the outside at the moment, Dave.
Yeah, and I think with Ron and Lana, I still think they are the producer darlings. I think they are being pushed forward. And so, people just casually watching and stuff, I'm sure they'll have plenty of votes. But yeah, Kai and Sanam, that got my vote, because there was a vote at the end of the episode, wasn't there? And so I've resisted. I'm not fucking voting for any of this lot. But last night I was like, right, hold on, I need to download the app.
Yeah, you've got to vote.
So yeah, they seem to be bobbing along. I mean, if you think about it, the shit that Kai's had to put up with post Casa Amor, and Sanam as well, in those girl talks in the morning, and especially Olivia just bitching about Kai and stuff, and she just takes it and then just rolls with the punches kind of thing. So yeah, I'm fully behind that couple, Chris.
I am, Dave. And the last thing, the very, very last brief thing, is Keanan shooting his shot at Rosie, because at the end of the day, the bombshells never usually get together. That's usually an unwritten rule. But he was telling everyone he was looking out for his like a little sister. Not a little sister. That's not the type of movie we're watching. Hopefully not. He's into Rosie. And I love the fact that she's just like, oh my God, this is awkward. Please get me out of here. And he's like, well, I've got to tell you. And then she walks off and goes, are you just airing me? Are you airing me? And she's thinking, how the fuck can I get away? I'm not into this guy like that. And he has just absolutely not read that situation at all.
No. As soon as he said it, and she's like, really? Oh. And I was like, oh dear, mate, those aren't the noises you want to hear. He did genuinely seem to shit himself, though, at the idea that she'd tell Casey.
Yeah,
did you notice that?
Yeah, it's a bit, and she said, didn't she, I'm going to tell? It was a bit strange, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, I like you say, I mean, usually the bombshells have, this unwritten rule, as you say, but, he's decided to break convention and spectacularly crashed and burned. So, yeah, I did enjoy that bit as well, just as the little cherry on top of tonight's episode.
No, it's really good. So, Dave, we've got one very quick email from our good friend Abby. And she's put, I called it with Jessie. She's a game player. I've never been on the fence. Always thought she was a game player. No tears again when speaking to Will. Liv calling Jessie out only because she's guilty of game playing herself. All we need now is Liv to be called out. So I can't argue with that, Dave. Pretty much what we've said. So yeah.
Yeah, I think Olivia wields this kind of magical power. I don't think anyone will call her out. I mean, Kai kind of has, but people are like, oh yeah, it's just bitter, isn't he? But weirdly, she has this aura. I mean, the whole snog, marry, pie thing, again, I get why the boys kind of didn't pie her. They just don't want to hear the fucking monotone voice for the next week, questioning why they pied her. But as a watcher, I want to be entertained. I want to see it get messy as fuck. So I was hoping that they actually did, and certainly if Kai had pied her, fucking hell, that'd have been all we'd have heard about right up until the final. But yeah, I spot on about Jessie as well. I was on the fence, but it's the fucking fake crying that I think is the biggest telltale sign out of everything.
It is, to be fair, it is. But no, thanks for today, mate. Great to have you back. So if you want to email us, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media, @cdrealitycast, please go to Facebook, Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. Come and join us over there, guys. We do appreciate it. And as always, if you do want to support the podcast a little bit more, get over to patreon.com/cdrealitycast. So today's roll call of honour is Ken, Lucky Lulu Green, Lauren, Tracy, Hennessy, Susan, Priscilla, Dee, Katie, Libby, Joanna, Noreen, Chloe, Brianna, Helen, Keith, Gillian, Zoe, Kristen, Maggie, Kate, Maggie, Cassie, Fiona, Emma, Schmave, Nicola, Macy, Alex, and Helen. So thank you so much, guys, for all your support. That's an amazing list. And great stuff, Dave. And I really, really appreciate this one, mate. It's been good fun.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good to be back. Well, thank you very much, sir. Thanks to everyone out there for listening. Thanks to all our supporters. And we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.